The Sparrow's Song, a journey of trust in the wilderness. Welcome to the fifth candle, where even the smallest creatures teach us the greatest lessons of faith. In a vast wilderness beneath towering pines and a sky dusted with stars, lived a little sparrow named Mara. Mara was no ordinary bird. She loved to sing, her voice a gentle melody that lifted the hearts of every creature in the forest. But when a fierce storm tore through the wilderness and scattered her family, Mara's journey of trust and faith would begin. Will she find her song again, or will the wilderness silence her forever? Join us now, for a tale of courage, hope, and the quiet power of God's promises. Mara had always felt safe in her little nest, tucked high in a strong pine tree at the heart of the great wilderness. She lived with her family, her wise mother Lila, brave father Tobin, and her two younger siblings Ezra and Tali. The forest was alive with sound and life. Squirrels chattered while gathering acorns, deer grazed peacefully in sunlit clearings, and the river whispered softly through the valley. Each morning, Mara would perch on the topmost branch and sing to the Creator. Her tiny voice echoed through the trees, a hymn of praise and trust. Her mother often reminded her of God's care, quoting Matthew 6 verse 26. Look at the birds of the air, they do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Mara believed deeply. She trusted the Creator cared for her just as he cared for every living thing in the forest. But one autumn evening, as the sun slipped beneath the horizon, a heavy stillness settled over the wilderness. The air grew thick and the wind whispered warnings through the trembling leaves. Mara shivered beneath her feathers. Her father Tobin flew urgently to the nest, his eyes wide with fear. A storm is coming, Mara. We must prepare. The family quickly gathered twigs to strengthen the nest. Lila prayed softly. Creator, shelter us beneath your wings. Then the storm arrived with a fury no one expected. Thunder roared like a lion, lightning ripped across the sky, and the wind howled fiercely, tearing through the forest. The pine tree groaned under the force, branches snapped, and in one terrifying moment, the nest was ripped apart. Mara was thrown into the air, her wings beating wildly against the gale. She called for her family, but the storm swallowed her cries. When the winds finally died down, Mara found herself alone, tangled in the branches of a fallen oak tree, far from home. The wilderness she had known was now strange and wild. The river had swollen into a raging torrent. Broken trees lay scattered across the forest floor. Her feathers soaked, her wings aching, Mara's heart trembled with fear. Mother, Father, Ezra, Tali, she whispered, voice trembling. She waited for hours, hoping to hear their calls, but silence was all she found. Mara's faith faltered. She remembered her mother's words, the Creator feeds the birds of the air, but doubt crept in. If he cares for me, why did he let this storm take everything? She tucked her head beneath her wing, her song silenced by sorrow. That night, she whispered a desperate prayer. Creator, if you see me, please show me you're here. As dawn broke, golden light spilled through the broken forest. Mara heard a rustling nearby. A scruffy gray squirrel named Kale appeared, his tail twitching nervously. You look lost, little sparrow, he said, his voice gruff but kind. Kale had lost his own home in the storm, a hollow maple tree, now shattered. Yet in his paws, he held a small acorn, a treasure he'd saved. I don't have much, Kale said, but I can share this. The Creator always provides. Mara hesitated, then pecked at the acorn, her hunger easing. Kale's simple kindness reminded Mara of Psalm 34 verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Maybe the Creator hadn't forgotten her after all. Kale offered to travel with Mara, searching for her family. Two sets of eyes are better than one, he said. Together, the sparrow and squirrel set off into the broken wilderness. Their journey was hard. The forest was a maze of fallen trees and muddy streams. Predators lurked, hawks circling, fox tracks nearby. Mara's wings grew heavy, Kale's legs tired. At night, they huddled beneath ferns, cold seeping into their bones. Doubts crept back. What if my family is gone forever? What if I never sing again? But Kale, despite his own fears, nudged her gently. The Creator led me to you, Mara. He'll lead us to your family too. His words brought to mind Proverbs 3 verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Mara chose to trust, even when the path was dark and unclear. One morning, crossing a rocky ridge, Mara heard a faint chirp. Her heart leapt. Tali, Ezra, She flew toward the sound, ignoring the ache in her wings. There, in a small clearing, were her siblings, shivering but alive.
Tali, Ezra.
Mara cried. Their voices, weak at first, joined hers in a shaky melody. The song grew stronger, filling the clearing. For the first time since the storm, Mara felt a spark of joy. But their parents were still missing. Ezra whispered, "We heard Father's call near the river, but we were too scared to go. The river had turned dangerous, a roaring beast of water." But Mara's trust in the Creator was growing. Looking up at the sky, she prayed, "Creator, guide us, be our strength." With Kale leading, the three ventured toward the river. The currents roared, the water muddy and swift. Mara's heart raced, remembering the hawk and fox dangers nearby. Then she heard it, a deep, familiar chirp. Her father, Tobin, stood on a rock across the river, feathers ruffled but eyes bright. Beside him was Lila, her mother, her wing injured but spirit unbroken. "Mara! Children!" they called. Mara's heart soared, but the raging river stood between them. Fear gripped her, but Kale nudged her forward. The Creator parted seas for his people. He can make a way for us. Mara recalled Isaiah 43 verse 2, her mother's favorite verse. "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you." She took a deep breath and trusted the Creator to guide their steps. Just then, a fallen log shifted, lodging between two rocks, forming a narrow bridge across the river. It wasn't perfect, but it was a path. Mara flew ahead, guiding her siblings, while Kale steadied the log with his small paws. One by one they crossed, the water roaring beneath them. When Mara reached her parents, she buried her head in their feathers, tears wetting her eyes. "You're safe," Lila whispered, voice trembling with gratitude. The Creator kept his promise. Tobin led them to a new nesting spot, a sturdy cedar tree, untouched by the storm. That night, the family sang together, their voices rising in harmony. Mara's song was the loudest, a melody of trust and thanksgiving. Kale, now a dear friend, curled up nearby, his heart warmed by their reunion. In the seasons that followed, Mara's song became a legend in the great wilderness. Creatures from all corners of the forest, deer, rabbits, even cautious foxes, would gather to hear her sing. Her melody carried a message. The Creator sees even the smallest sparrow, hears every whispered prayer, and makes a way through the fiercest storms. Mara often quoted her favorite verse from Matthew 10 verse 29. "Are not two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside your Father's care." Her family had been scattered, her song silenced, but the Creator restored them, proving his faithfulness. Mara's journey taught the forest a timeless truth: when storms rage, trust in the Creator's plan, for he never forgets his creation. What a beautiful reminder of God's care for us all. Mara faced a storm that scattered her family and silenced her song, but through trust and faith, she found restoration. Her story echoes a truth for us, even in our darkest moments. God sees us, just as he sees the sparrows. Matthew 6 verse 26 reminds us we are more valuable than the birds of the air. And Romans 8 verse 28 promises he works all things for good. Have you ever felt like Mara? Lost in a storm, unsure if God sees you? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how this story touched your heart. Subscribe and hit the bell for more tales of faith and redemption. Until next time, may you trust in God's care, no matter the storm.